Is willpower too much? Is there ever a point where you have to force yourself too hard to move into willpower? Is willpower not enough? That's what Jim and I are going to jump into and have a conversation about today on the Rethink Sales Show.
How you can be the greatest salesperson on the planet.
So first of all, willpower is a often used and misused word. So the another definition of willpower is self-discipline.
Yes.
So think about that. Self-discipline. Willpower and self-discipline are the same word. In essence, they're synonyms. And so when willpower needs to stop is if we're going in the wrong direction.
Yes.
So my goal is I want to head east. But for whatever reason, I got messed up. I realized that I'm heading west. Willpower would mean let's keep going, let's keep going, let's keep going. No, the answer would be stop. Would be stop. So, and turn around. So when you talk about willpower, we just have to make sure that it's directed in the right direction.
Yeah.
That sounds like a little bit of redundancy. But if you think about it, if we have a goal, and it's very specific and very clear cut, so we now have this goal, and we have reasons why to make us cry. Check two, got that done. We now know, yeah, I want to do this. I have reasons why that make me very emotional, very passionate. So the combination of having a goal and having reasons why to make me cry is vital towards the idea of becoming successful in the idea of goal pursuit. So that said, what we do, what the Jim Shorkey idea is and the Derek Kelly idea is to seek expert counsel to figure out what it is that we should be doing.
Right.
And that's what I always refer to as the list.
Yes.
And so I seek expert counsel. I find somebody who has done what I want to do successfully. And I have a conversation. And to be clear, that conversation could be a book. It could be a YouTube video. And preferably it would be a one-on-one conversation like I had with Mr. Hamilton, for example. That would be ideal. But it's not necessarily the do-all, end-all, okay? So I did get the books. I did watch the videos. I did listen to stuff as I was driving to work. And so once we have our list, the list is going to produce results.
Yes.
And I want you to really pause and ponder what I'm going to say next. So we have our list, we're doing a list, we had a list, and we start to produce results. And over a period of time, not one day is not enough, but over a period of, I would say, a good weeks. So my minimum would be 4 weeks. And so I'm measuring results. We have to check in just about every day. So we check in, we start measuring our results. When Mr. Hamilton gave me his list of things I should be doing, and I realized I wasn't doing any of them, as soon as I started doing them, basically that needle started to move. So that was a result.
Yeah.
The needle started to move.
Right.
And I kept doing it, and the needle kept moving. And then I went back to Mr. Hamilton for more expert counsel, and I got more ideas, and I kept doing it. And so results are, in fact, the name of the game. But that said, results are nothing more than information. And if the results are not what we want them to be, there's a pretty high probability that we're doing something wrong.
Right. And I remember one time you were telling me just about when your dad passed, moving from one or two dealerships at the time to really growing.
It was one dealership.
How did you decide to jump into that second dealership? Why did you make that move and just not stay with one? How is that connected to your why?
Yeah, that's easy. That's very easy to answer. So first of all, I had to make sure that the one was checking all the marks.
Yeah.
So there were different, I'm very schooled on the balance sheet and the income statement. I understand it. And there's several different indicators within those two documents that will tell me whether I am financially stable or not. And I'm not going to get into the details there, but let's just say I had to get myself on a really solid foundation of financial strength.
Yeah.
Okay. And so as I was doing that, and the children started to get involved in the business, and I had this idea that I wanted to have a dealership for each child.
Yeah.
And my reasons why did, in fact, make me cry. They love the car business today. They loved it back then, and they got hooked.
Yeah.
And so I felt that I needed to get 4 dealerships, one for each child. And so that became the goal. And my reasons why absolutely positively made me cry. I wanted to be in a position where I could serve my children. So that's where the 4 came from. Yeah. And when I left, it ended up being, depending on the kids count it different than I do. They say 5, I say 6. One of the dealerships is it's on the same campus.
Right.
But to me, it's 2 separate dealerships. So that would be Mitsubishi in Uniontown and Kia in Uniontown. Ford in White Oak is 1. Chrysler in North Huntington is 2. Kia is 3. Now Mitsubishi in North Huntington is 4. And then I had 2 in Uniontown. They counted as 5. So it doesn't matter. So I was going for 4, but I ended up with 6 just because the things were happening, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And so when it was now pretty obvious that it was time for me to get out of their way. And so I started working very aggressively on my Amy and my estate plan. And I had attorneys in the room, estate planners. And the kids were all in the room. Yeah. And sort of we're just about to put the ball across the goal line as far as how we were going to do this. Mm-hmm. The children decided that they wanted to run it as one entity. My vision for the reason for the 4 was I wanted each child to have his or her own dealership. Yeah. And they would control 51% of the stock of that particular dealership. Sure. Yep. And the other 3 children would then control 49% of the stock. Sure. So they would have a voice. Yeah. So just to talk about the kids, Katie would have 51% of deal 1. Jimmy would have 51% of deal 2. Russell would have 51% of deal 3. And Daniel, my youngest, would have 51% control of stock ownership of deal 4. And then the rest of the stock, which would be 49%, they would each own a third of that 49%. Yep. And so I felt that would be a good formula. And I got that idea from guys like my dad, Mr. Hambleton. They advised me that you need to control 51% of the stock because now nobody can tell you what to do. Even though the other ones own 49%, they have no vote. They have a minority interest. But at the last minute, when we were doing the estate plan, the kids came to me, or we were sitting around discussing this thing. It was expert counsel in the room, the attorneys, everybody was there. And they said that they didn't want to do that, that they felt they could run it as one entity. I didn't agree. But I said, hey, guys, if that's what you do.
What a powerful testament to family, but go ahead.
Yeah. I said, if that's what you want to do. And by the way, my major concern was I didn't want the family to lose its sense of unity over the automobile business. So that's why I felt that would be the way to handle it. Yeah. But they decided they didn't want to do that. And so I said, okay, if that's what you want to do, it's your business. Yeah. Let's go. So that's what we did. And then I walked away. We got it all done. The deal was done. The children own 100% of the stock of what it was, the Jim Shorkey Family Auto Group. That's what it was. Amy and I own nothing. We literally walked away. Yeah. And I'm not involved. People don't believe that. They come on, Jim, I know you're involved. I'm not involved. And the reason I'm not involved is because I had my chance. I had my turn.
What a legacy, Jim.
Yeah, I felt that they needed to have their turn as well. I know if there's one person on this planet I know, is Jim Shorkey. Mm-hmm. I am a guy that wants to put his finger in every single hole. I want to be involved in every single thing, call the shots, give the advice, constantly give advice, not necessarily the best thing to do. So I knew I needed to get out of their way so that they could flower and grow. Since I left, or I shouldn't say since Amy and I left, the business has 10x'd. Yeah. So when you look at it today, I believe it's 20 dealerships. Yeah. They have dealerships in Georgia. Right. They have dealerships in Ohio. Wow. And they dominate the Pittsburgh market in terms of, I don't think they're the biggest, certainly one of them. They have Toyota in the North Hills. They have Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram truck in the North Hills. They have Chevy in the North Hills. They have Kia in Wexford. So there's 4 right there. They have the dealerships in North Huntington, which would be Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram truck, Kia, and Mitsubishi. That's 3. They have the 1 in Uniontown is 4. Okay. We have Kia. We have Kia in North Huntington, Kia in Wexford, Kia in Uniontown, Kia in Georgia. They have done an incredible job, and I have to say, I'm not involved. But that is the legacy. Yeah. Somebody said to me just recently, says, oh, that shows how good you were as far as they're doing better without you. I said, no, that's how good I was that they're doing better without me. That's how good I was.
That's the goal, right?
Yeah, they're doing better than I did. That's the legacy.
Why would you want to train up a child and hope they do less than you? I mean,
well, unfortunately, a lot of people do. Envy enters the thing, jealousy, whatever. I'm so proud of my children and the team.
Yeah.
They have a great team, and that's the legacy.
But it wasn't
That's the
just
legacy.
willpower that got you from 1 to 2. It was connected to your reason why.
But willpower, but the reason why creates the willpower, I politely disagree with you on that. Willpower, like I said, is self-discipline. Don't forget that. Self-discipline, meaning I get up in the morning and I have to be disciplined to do my list. And it takes willpower
Yes.
to do my list. Oh, by the way, another word for willpower is persistence. Results aren't, remember, results are the name of the game. And if the results are not what you want them to be, that's when you need to take a pause, seek expert counsel, go to Mr. Hamilton, say, Mr. Hamilton, here's the list, and here's what I've been doing. And he says, wait a second, tell me about number 9 again. Oh, yeah, here's number 9, here's what I've been doing.
Yep.
You're not doing it the right way. Just to really go off subject, my physical therapist comes in once a week.
Yep.
And this is for my stroke recovery. And so I was doing bodyweight squats, but I've got a 10-pound kettlebell. And so I take that, I do the squat, kettlebell is, my arms are stretched out, and I touch the kettlebell to the ground. And I come back up, and I take the kettlebell and I lift it up to here, back down, back into a squat. So I did. He says, your form's no good. He says, no good. I want form. So he taught me how to do it. And what the proper form is, I should go into the squat as if I was sitting in a chair. And I work on this every single day. Every time I sit down, if you notice me, I go into a squat. And I go down slow. I don't plop into the chair. I get down slow, so it is technically a squat. But now when I do this exercise, the idea is to get your butt really far back. So you're standing straight up, you get your butt back, and then you bend into the squat, but your knees have to be behind your toes. And I wasn't doing it right. So there's an example. You know, I think I'm doing it right, and Mark tells me that I possibly could hurt myself doing it the way I was doing it. So I changed that.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Same with my think tank, same with talking to you. I realize that I'm not doing it the right way. And we talk about the strategic continuum, right?
Right.
The strategic continuum is having a plan,
Right.
number one, and then number 2, execution. As it turns out, I had a plan,
Right.
but I wasn't executing it properly.
Yeah.
If I don't execute the plan properly, I'm going to suffer bad results.
Yeah, I made a similar mistake, and another business mentor encouraged me. We do a lot of 2-year growth marketing plans with folks, and we take them through figuring out their messaging and their audience, and their what success looks like. A lot of stuff we teach in Rethink You 2.0. But I got to a place, and this was my own naivety in the sense of we also are really excellent at selling websites and doing social media, and so I kept selling the actual product of social media and websites. And somebody who's close to me, a mentor of mine, stopped me and said, stop selling websites. We do what you're so much, like, not that you can't do that, but that's not the only thing you do. Zoom out a little more, focus on the big picture, and continue to walk people through the process we've always done of helping them through their growth plan. What does success look like? Who is your audience? What's your messaging? What's your execution? And make the website a part of that. And that's just, I recognize my own short-sightedness, right? And, this is easy to explain. It's easy to say, okay, Jim, need a website, XYZ, we're going to execute it here. So I was really focused on the execution, but I had lost sight of the plan.
Yeah.
So you had a plan. You needed clarity on execution. I had execution, but I lost the plot.
And let's not forget, if we have an A plan, like that's a good plan. If we execute that plan poorly, we're not going to get good results. If we execute that plan 50% of the time, we're not going to get good results. It's going to show in the results.
Yeah.
If we have a B plan, executed to perfection or very close, executed at 100% or very close, we're going to get incredible results. So we need to find the combination of a good plan.
Yes. Execute.
Good is good.
Yes.
Good plus is better. Great is even better. But sometimes people get so caught up in the plan that they miss the execution phase.
Yeah.
We can talk all day about the plan. Jim Rohn famously said, you can't pay somebody else to do your push-ups. Okay? And so I'm in this stroke recovery, and I made a commitment when I was laying on my back in the bed, in the hospital bed, a lot of pain, couldn't do anything, was pretty much immobile. And I decided that I was going to use Rethink You 2.0 as my stroke recovery plan.
Yeah.
I already had it. And the combination of that and Think and Grow Rich is what I'm doing. And I'm doing a lot of research. That's the expert counsel.
That's what I was going to ask you. How do we get stuck in that bad plan? Is it our insecurity? Is it we just don't know enough information? How do we get stuck in that bad plan?
We don't.
How did we get there in the first place, I guess is what I'm asking.
We don't.
Okay.
If you're in a bad plan and you get stuck in it, now think about this before you answer. If you're getting bad results, what does that indicate potentially?
You have a bad plan.
Yes.
Yes.
Or
You're not executing.
we say, Mr. Hamilton, here's the list, and I'm not moving the needle anymore. Let's go over it. Let's talk about it. Or are you doing this? Yeah. Tell me how you're doing it. I'm doing just like Mark.
Yep.
Your form stinks.
Yep.
So I needed to change that.
Yeah.
In my research, I came across this idea. So I'm 100% stroke recovery. That's the goal, right? That's the goal. What's my reason why? Do you remember?
Oh, absolutely.
What is
On
it?
the porch with Lila or one of your other grandchildren with their child, if they have one, and being present.
It's a great grandchild.
And being able to hug and walk and
talk.
be fully aware and awake.
Wouldn't it be great? So I'm 100 years old now. That's 33 years from now. Lila's 13. She's now 46.
Right.
She has a child, most likely, it's going to be around 16, 17, thinking about going to college.
Yep.
Wouldn't it be great for me to be able to mentor that great grandchild?
Yeah.
To be able to hug him and give him some ideas about what I did and what I didn't do and what I should have done and what I shouldn't have done, all these kind of things. So that's why I'm doing the research, so that I can get the right steps in place. And in doing that research, I came up with an idea. It's called Jukester.
Okay.
Jukester. It's a device that hangs from the ceiling.
I'm tracking.
You actually box this device. You punch it. You jab it.
So it's different than a normal punching bag.
It's not a punching bag at all. It's a thing that hangs from the ceiling, and it's got these things about the size of that bottle there that are connected to a string, and you punch them. So it's not measuring, but the idea is accuracy and speed. And from the research I've done, this idea of boxing for neurological disorders is really powerful. It changes your brain. Your brain is plastic. Your brain is malleable. And by the way, this is not medical advice.
Right.
I'm just telling you what I'm doing. Don't do what I'm doing. Talk to your doctor, talk to whomever. But I already talked to my son, Jim III, about this, and he's going to do some research on it, is I want to learn how to box. Am I going to box? Absolutely not. I'm never going to get hit in the face. Not happening. Not good for the brain. But I want to learn how to box, how to punch, and how to punch accurately, and how to punch with speed. And as I do that, it's a really challenging workout for my brain and my body. So we're getting a double hit here. I got the device, I open the box, the instructions are in the box. If you think I'm going to attach this thing to the ceiling, that's a bad idea. I'm a worn out old car salesman.
Yeah.
But I have a guy, his name is Ron, who is really talented at building and construction. He works in the construction business.
Yep.
He does a lot of work for Amy at the house here. He's just a wonderful guy. So I'm going to hand him this box with this list of how to do it. And I was going to put it in my workout room, but I think it's maybe going to be a little bit too much in the way and not enough room. So I'm going to I decided I'm going to put it in we have an unfinished basement, my cold plunge and my sauna, all that. So I'm going to put it in there. But it doesn't stop there, because I haven't really sought expert counsel yet. So I want to find somebody who can teach me how to box.
Yep.
So the first guy that I'm going to talk to tomorrow is Mark.
Yep.
And I'm going to hand him this box. I'm going to say, can you teach me how to box? And he might say, I sure can. I used to box. Great. Or no. Who do you recommend then? Or I'll talk to Jimmy. Who do you recommend? And I'm going to get somebody to come to the house and teach me how to box.
Yep.
Now, here's the deal, Derek. I hate this.
Huh.
I don't like
That
this.
makes sense. Yes,
I am uncomfortable with this. That's where willpower comes in.
Yes.
That's where the reasons why there may be cry come in.
Yes.
I have to do this. I don't have a choice. Am I going to like it? No. I've never boxed. I'm not a fighter. I'm a runner.
Yeah.
So I'm a runner. And I never was a boxer. I never was a fighter. And so it's neat that I can run so that when you and I get in a fight, I'm just going to run. Nice knowing you. Down the road I go. Where's Jim going? He's trying to get away from me. It makes me feel funny because I know I'm not going to like it.
Yeah.
When I do something I don't like, I don't like it. And I do it again.
Yep.
And I still don't like it. And I do it again. And I still don't like it. And I just keep doing it. What do you think is going to happen?
If you're doing the right thing because you sought expert counsel, you're going to see your results. You're going to become. You're not going to be the best boxer in the world, but that's not your goal, right? Your goal is
here to improve my brain. Like, holy cow! If that's true, it's going to improve my brain.
Right.
And what's going to happen?
It's something novel that's new. So it's
Novelty is the deal. As far as me improving my brain, novelty is the word. And so, in our world of living, as we age, we tend to get into what is called automaticity. So we do the same thing every day. We get up in the morning, we get our coffee, we do this, we do the same things every day. We don't change. The brain doesn't like that. The brain gets bored. We have to challenge our brain, according to the research I'm doing, again, not medical advice. I have to challenge my brain. And so this will be a challenge to my brain.
And you have to will yourself.
Well, willpower, plus, again, they're the same word, but I like the word persistence in this regard. So I'm not going to like it first time, second time, 10th time, not going to like it. But eventually, I'm going to start to like it. I'm going to start to like it because I'm going to persist. And I'm going to use self-discipline. I'm going to use willpower. And I'm going to get from 1 session to 2 to 5 to 10 to 20. And then, by the way, if Mark is able to do this for me, then I'll have him come in twice a week. And we'll have our boxing session. It's not really boxing. If you can visualize, it's a string of these things.
Yep.
And you hit it and it moves.
Right.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
So now it's moving.
It's speed and accuracy.
But it's also moving. Oh. So it's not static. When you hit it, it moves and it swings. Now you got to hit it again. You got to really
find it.
You got to find it.
That makes sense about the automaticity. I realized it was easier for me to sell a website than to sell something larger and bigger and more to explain and more to present and more to...
Yep.
My brain was like, oh, that's easy. I could do that every day.
The brain figures it out. And the brain also figures out shortcuts to get something done. It fills in gaps. The brain is amazing. But that is good to a point.
Yeah,
and then it becomes automatic. And it's okay. That's good. Routines are good. Believe me, we're big on routines. But we need to also do things different. So stick with your routine, but then add some novelty to that as an aside.
Yeah.
And everyone's with a list. Maybe there's one that's not serving you as well anymore, and get expert counsel and say, I'm going to take that one off and add one on. Yeah. But I can tell you this, Mark is advising me, he wants me to do more push-ups. So I started getting up in the morning, and I do 15 push-ups. And I do them with a good form. And then I get off the ground, and I do the body weight squats with a 10-pound kettlebell. And as I said, lifting that kettlebell up like this and then back down. Yeah. So I do 15 of those, and then Mark taught me this, and it is brutal. So I put the kettlebell, 10 pounds, above my head, and I march in place. It's a strength move, it's a weightlifting move, but it's also a balance move. Because what happens, I got it above my head, and I lift my left leg up.
You want to teeter.
Exactly. So I got to focus on my right foot, and then I lift my right foot up, and I got to focus on my left foot. And so it's a balance move as well. And I was actually saying to Mark, I said, you know what? Because he just taught me how to do it, and I was doing it. And I said, this is also a balance move. He says, you bet it is. Because what happens is you have this weight, 10 pounds above your head. Yeah. Well, where's that weight want to go? I'll give you a hint. It's called the law of gravity.
Yeah.
It wants to go to the side, right?
Yep.
As soon as I tilt a little bit, and then I go off balance. So I got to make these micro adjustments as I go. Yeah. But anyways, I started doing that. And I do it in the evening as well. Not as much. I do maybe 10, 10, and 10, something like that. But it's really hard. And I wanted to make sure that I was okay doing it every day. And so I did. I'm really big on this expert counsel. I am. Yes. So I said, Mark, because I always heard you're not supposed to lift.
Yeah, I do this too often.
Nope. It's not the same because I'm not lifting for an hour.
Yes.
Do you know how long it takes me to go through this whole routine?
Actually, no.
5 minutes.
5 minutes.
So we're not, but I'll tell you what, when I'm done doing this, I feel like I just did something,
a good
right?
5-minute
But that's an example of the list I've now added to the list.
Yeah.
I'm going to recover from the stroke. Yes. And that's the persistence part of it and the willpower and the self-discipline part of it.
Yeah. Jim, thank you for sharing just about how it's not just willpower, but it's actually persistence That if we have a good plan
Yeah.
and we know what the steps are to execute, then it allows us to embrace the uncomfortable in a way that's not necessarily exciting, but we feel prepared as we have expert counsel around us and as we go after it. We know it's not going to be easy. You're talking about something that's not easy. I'm talking about something that makes me uncomfortable and not easy.
Yeah.
But we know the why, and so we're going to persist.
Yeah. If you want to lose weight, you need to get a scale. You stand on the scale, it says you weigh X. Oh, crap, that's way more than I want to weigh. Well, what do you want to weigh? Oh, now we have a goal. And why do you want to weigh that? You know what? This certain ailment runs in my family, and I got my belly's too big, and this and that, and it scares the living crap out of me. I want to be there for my grandchildren. To your reasons why make you cry. Mm-hmm. So I want to lose 30 pounds. Okay? And I start weighing myself every single day. And it's not changing. That's a result. The scale is a result. It's information. So I go to expert counsel. What are some of the best things I can do to lose weight? Oh, here's this idea. Geez, I'm not doing that. Here's this idea. Oh, not doing that either. And you get all these ideas. That becomes the list. So we start to do the list, and we're doing it the right way, 100% execution. We're pretty darn close. We're working the list, and we're weighing ourselves every day. And hey, guess what? I lost a pound. I lost another pound. And it starts to go down.
Yeah.
And I keep measuring. It starts to go down. Oh, it went up. What happened? Got off the plan yesterday. That ice cream sure did look tempting.
Yep.
But so the scale is nothing more than information. So I guess what I would say to you, Derek, is if you do have a goal and you have your reasons why they make you cry, you have to start measuring results. Yeah. And you have to figure out how you're going to do that.
Okay. Yeah. So, guys, let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear about your goal. We'd love to hear about your reason why. And then what from today encouraged you to move toward those results. So let us know in the comments below that. Please leave us a like and subscribe. It helps the algorithm recommend this to more and more people. So thank you, Jim. Thank you, guys.
This is a mathematical situation. Mm-hmm. It just is. That's what an algorithm is. Yes. It picks up on tendencies. Yeah. So the more comments, the more likes. Yeah. The more if you comment, we're going to comment back. All these types of things, they cause the algorithm
to recommend us.
The algorithm recognize what's going on, and they show the video to more people. Now, ultimately, our cause is to help you. Yeah. And we don't even know who you are. But if there is somebody out there that needs our help that would benefit from this message, wouldn't it be great to get that message in front of them? Mm-hmm. Wouldn't it be great? For us to accomplish this, we need your help. Yeah. We're asking for your help. The more likes, the more comments, even if it's just a thank you, that's a comment. Yeah. And we can comment back. Great show. That's a comment. I like this as a comment. It doesn't have to be an MIT research cause that this huge thing. It doesn't have to be that. A simple yes. A simple, this was fun. Good show. Anything like that is going to benefit the algorithm, and Facebook is going to show it to more people, YouTube as well. So that's why Derek has been big on the subscribers. We want to grow that. I think we're right around 600 now, right?
Yep, correct.
So 600, and again, the more subscribers, the more the message gets shown. Does that make sense?
That's exactly right.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, guys. Talk to you soon.